Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time, and this was just reported by Jeff Stein at the Washington Post. And I want to warn you, it is a bleak scenario, and it is unlikely, but it is a possible scenario. And one of the things I do on my channel is I want to give you guys the true news, the honest news, and things do change in Washington, D.C. So, this is a scenario. This is not going to happen necessarily, but this is a scenario that was just reported by Jeff Stein at the Washington Post based on the individuals he is talking to in DC. I will also provide you with the link in the description section below to this scenario. This scenario is as follows. Number one, there is no stimulus deal before the November 3rd election. Okay, that is, again, let me be clear, this is a scenario. I'm waiting for news to come out from US Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who, by the way, did say that the talks were going slowly. This is the latest word that we've heard from her. But one scenario is that there is no stimulus deal by the 3rd of November, that former Vice President Joe Biden wins the presidency, okay, and President Trump loses interest, according to Jeff Stein at the Washington Post. Let me be clear: President Trump loses interest in a deal with Congress. In other words, he no longer wants to cut a deal with Congress because he's no longer the president. In other words, in that case, there would be no additional stimulus until January 20th at the earliest, because we would have to wait until the inauguration of former Vice President Joe Biden as president, assuming he wins the presidency. So, as far as the stimulus talks are concerned, there is a direct link between stimulus and politics because we are so close to the election. But again, this is a possible scenario, and this is something that is a little bit disturbing, but I do want my viewers and subscribers to know about this. There is a new wave of cases that are emerging across the country. This is by no means behind us. As a country, we could have and should have done better leading up to this point, but there is a possibility that there could be a new wave of cases from November all the way through January, February of next year. And if that happens, this can cause even more severe economic damage. And just as DC is most paralyzed, because what can happen from November all the way through February of next year is, again, if former Vice President Joe Biden wins the election and President Trump is no longer the president, then DC will effectively be paralyzed because the decisions will not happen at the rate that we need them to happen. Also, if Democrats seize control of the Senate, they are going to have to wait until all the senators have indeed take their positions, until all the senators take office. So we could be, this is a bleak scenario, but I want to report it to my viewers as soon as I got the information. There is a scenario that this might happen. What do I think? First, let me be clear. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm an optimist. I'm always going to be an optimist. I'm a realist. I want to provide truth. I want to provide honesty. I want to provide transparent information to my viewers and subscribers. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. What I think is that I would be very, 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 very surprised if this does indeed happen. This bleak scenario that is laid out by Jeff Stein does indeed happen. And the reason I say that is because President Trump politically needs a win. He needs, he needs a stimulus package to pass, and I do believe he's doing what he can to boost his re-election efforts, as any president would. That's number one. Number two, individuals are suffering. Individuals are suffering. A lot of individuals have lost their jobs permanently. Number three, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and US Treasury Secretary Mnuchin are still talking. They would not be talking and they would not be wasting their time if there was no chance of a deal. I would be very surprised and very shocked if this scenario actually plays out, but it is a scenario that was outlined by Jeff Stein at the Washington Post. And again, let me recap the scenario: a bleak but possible scenario that I hear from people. Number one, no stimulus deal until November 3rd. Number two, former Vice President Joe Biden wins. President Trump loses interest in doing a deal with Congress, and so there is no additional stimulus until January 20th at the earliest. That's going to be too late. That is going to be too late. My viewers and subscribers need quick cash now. We need to be able to pay the bills. We need to be able to do everything we can in order to be able to, keep the lights on, in order to be able to put food on the table. So that is going to be too late. And number three, a new wave of cases could emerge. A new wave of cases could emerge in November all the way through February, and cause severe economic damage, just as DC is fundamentally paralyzed. And if they don't do something in the next few days, potentially a couple of weeks. There's a fear that it'll be very, very hard to get relief passed, just as things tend to get much, much, much worse in the winter. Let me be clear. I want to be as clear as I can. I don't want this to happen. I want help for those who need it the most, and I am your supporter. I am your advocate. I am your voice, and I am a messenger. But I really hope that it doesn't come to this. I want you to let me know in the comment section below. Please let me know in the comment section below whether you what is your thought about this particular subject. What do you think about the possibility of this happening? Because if this does indeed happen, this would be a monumental failure on the part of the government to help the American people at a time when individuals need help the most, specifically the weakest among us. Because what happened at the start of the year was that there was a kumbaya moment and everybody came together and passed the $600 week booster, did the $1,200 stimulus checks. That was when we were like, yeah, this virus has hit us. But now that we know that the pain is ongoing, now that we know this is a K-shaped recovery, the pandemic is not behind us. Now we know that the president got impacted. And by the way, the president is doing everything he can to project a strong, a strong image, project strength, try and get the economy back on track. But it could be a very difficult 2 or 3 or 4 months that lies ahead of us, potentially longer, specifically for those of us who are the most disenfranchised. So again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I will provide you with a link below to this message from Jeff Stein at the Washington Post, because Jeff was the one who broke this news, and I want to know what you think in the comment section below. I would be very surprised if any of my viewers and subscribers can indeed wait until January. Nobody wants to wait until January for additional stimulus, but that's what you get on this channel. I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm not going to give you any false hope. I have been optimistic about the stimulus, and for me, the silver lining is that U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi are still talking. So for me personally, I see that as a silver lining. And number two, I think it's very shocking that a president and an administration that wants to get re-elected would not pass further stimulus. I mean, why would you not want to pass stimulus? Why would you not want to make it happen if you want to get re-elected? Because, there are 30 million individuals on unemployment. Let's help them. And then let's, that's going to help you politically. So some of these things are hard to make sense of, even for me. But I want to report to you what's going on right now. I hope that this doesn't happen. And politically, this is a necessity. And also, just to be clear, the Democrats have not shown a willingness and an eagerness to accept the $1.6 trillion offer from U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. That includes, quote unquote, the broader progressive left, which includes Warren, Sanders, and that includes the squad, including AOC. So it does seem like we are heading towards a situation. One thing I know for sure: as the days and the weeks go by, the possibility of stimulus becomes less likely. If something has to happen, it should happen now. It should happen in the next few days. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.